All right, so I hope you're ready for another great challenge. My name is Rob. I'm with precodecamp.com, and in this video, we're going to be testing our knowledge with function building as well as some array methods that are out there, as well as loops in order to kind of help solve this problem. And our problem is we need to write a function that will take in two arrays, and it will tell you how many matches there are between the two arrays. All right, and this is a great segue into one of our previous videos, which was to generate lottery balls, right? And to generate lottery tickets. So if you can imagine this being a lotto number, and we're trying to see how many matches we end up getting with this, that's kind of where my thought process was when I was creating this challenge. So it is a pretty simple one if we can kind of stub this out on how would we go about doing this as a human. So the very first task is we need to create a function that will actually consume these two arrays that we give it. Okay, so let's do that first, and for that feel free to pause the video at each one of these little stopping points and see if you can go ahead and do that. So go ahead and write a function. We're going to call it find matches, and it's going to take in two arguments, and that's really all I want you to kind of write out and do. So feel free to pause the video and go ahead and write that out. All right, well, hopefully you ended up getting something that looks just like this, and then we're going to close that off. So the function is called find matches. It takes in two arguments that you can see right here, which is array 1 and array 2, and we're going to be doing our logical work inside of here. Okay, so whenever we're going to be doing any kind of loops or anything like that, and we're trying to keep track utilizing a counter, we're always going to want to have the initialized counter outside of the loop. And so for that, I'm going to go ahead and create a variable in here, and I'm going to call it matches. So I'm going to say let matches equal 0. So that's going to be really standard, a real standard pattern. Again, if you saw one of our other videos of, hey, let's count to see how many even numbers we see in an array, we did this exact same kind of pattern of let's create some sort of variable outside of any kind of loop. So that way inside the loop, we are going to be keeping track of it, right? Now, the next thing is we need to create a for loop that will go through this array. It will go through one of the arrays, and it's going to see if we have a match inside that array. Okay. So let's go ahead and do that. So I want to type in here for, and then I want let I equal 0, semicolon. Then I'm going to do this loop as long as the array 1 dot length is less than the array size, right? So I want this loop to continue on until we get to the end of the very first array. And then after that, I want to go ahead and do an I plus plus. Okay. Again, this for loop should be something very familiar to you if you've been watching our series of videos going over looping through arrays. Now, the next thing that we need to think about and do is we need to see if we have a match, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take the second array and we're going to see if we have a match based off of this. Because like what we want to do is we want this loop to look at this first character here, this first index, and check to see did it find a 1 inside of the second array. Okay, and if it did, then we want to increment our matches up here, so that way it keeps on counting. Okay, so the way to do that in JavaScript is we have something here called includes. It's going to take a look at the second array, and we're going to see if we have matched with a 1, okay? And the includes returns either true or false whenever we utilize it. So we can put this in an if block. If the array 2 dot includes, okay? And then, well, how can we tell it that we only want whatever index we are on to be checked? Well, that's where inside here, we're going to type out ARR, the first array, square bracket, I, okay? Now, if we do get a match, then we would like to increment that counter. So many times we can see something like matches equals matches plus 1. That would be fine. Or you could do matches and then put a plus plus there. And that does the same exact thing. But I think if we're just starting out, that this one works best for most learners out there. Okay, so just to reiterate, what we're doing here is we are comparing the first one here, and we're comparing it to see, hey, do I see a 1 in this array here? And if it does, then we're going to increase our counter. Okay, and then we're moving on to the next one. Does it see a 2, right? And then we can come in here, look for a 2. It doesn't. It's going to keep on moving on. Is there a 3? Well, there is a 3, right? And so it's just going to continue on going through this entire array until we get to the very end. And then at the end of this loop, we need to report back the matches. Okay. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and save that, and then I'm going to scroll up just a little bit. And let's set up our testing here for these two arrays. So let's go ahead and do something that looks like this. So our first array has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in it. The next one has 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in it. And if we did everything correctly, we should now see that we have matched 3 of the numbers that are in here. So I can go ahead and hit the play button, and I do in fact see 3, which is kind of cool. Okay. All right. Well, hopefully you enjoyed this tutorial. Feel free to play around with these arrays. Again, you can make them any size that you want. You can add more numbers to it, either the top, the bottom, or both, right? So test that out, see if it works for your scenarios. But again, this is another great example of the Lotto generator, and if we're trying to compare tickets to see if we got a match on the jackpot, right? So that's what we're leaning towards once we put all these finishing pieces together, okay?